Okay.
I
Welcome, late. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Türkiye'de you are very famous in Turkey now.
Thank you.
Very famous. your your solo is watch everyone in Turkey.
Mm,
We love your music.
thank you.
Gerçekten muhteşem. Muhteşem. Sana sorularım var ve hızlıca sormak istiyorum.
I just want to say before you start, Emre, I want to say thank you for inviting me to have
Aa,
this conversation, and I want to thank everybody who is watching, all the beautiful people from Turkey who have been sending me messages, enjoying my music on Instagram. Uh, in 1 month or one maybe 2 months, I feel like I have a big Turkish community that is listening to my music and so on, and I'm very thankful and happy for that. So thank you for inviting me.
yeah, we are very honored. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Öncelikle, first of all, biz seni gerçekten tanımak istiyoruz.
Yeah, I think I have been seeing online people try to guess, is he Turkish? Is he Arab? Where is he from? So to give the very quick background, I was born in Baghdad in
Bak.
Iraq.
Hı hı.
Both my father and mother are from Iraq,
Hı
but
hı.
I lived all my life in Jordan, in Amman, Urdun, in
Okay,
Urdun.
okay.
And I lived there all my life until I traveled for studying music. I
Hı hı.
traveled to England, to Manchester,
Oh.
and then I finished my studies in Boston, in
Hı hı.
America, United States of America.
Yeah.
So I am very international. I lived in many places, but I call myself an Arab because I am between Iraq and Jordan. The two countries are very special for me. But
Hı
in my
hı.
music and in the way I present myself, I'm an Arab musician.
Muhteşem. Şimdi seni buradaki Türkiye'deki insanların bu kadar tanımasının sebebi bir büyük orkestranın önünde, ya klasik orkestra tabir ettiğimiz bir orkestranın önünde attığın o çok doğu stili bir solo. Yani bu kadar zaman içinde hem İngiltere'de, Amerika'da eğitimler aldın ama o geleneksel çalma stilinde hiçbir şekilde kaybetmemişsin.
Yes, so I can speak about both things also very quickly. When I was studying the violin, I was studying in conservatory,
Hı hı.
studying classical music, studying Bach, Mozart, Beethoven,
Yes.
concertos, orchestra, classical,
Hı
Western
hı.
European classical music. When I traveled to America to study in Berkeley, very
Hı hı.
important school of music for
Yes.
contemporary music, people there start to ask me, Leif, where are you from? I say, I'm from Amman, from Jordan and Iraq. And they ask me, what does your music sound like? And
Wow.
I start to think to myself that, wow, I really have not spent enough time to understand where I am from. So I started to study music from the Arab world very deeply. And for the past 10 years, I have been performing that. And the video that you mentioned with the big orchestra,
Hı hı.
this orchestra is called the National Arab Orchestra. It's an orchestra in the United States of America. The
Hımm.
conductor of the orchestra is called Michael Ibrahim. I
Hı hı.
used to play with them. I don't play with them anymore because I travel a lot.
Oh.
But it was a very special concert because we play music from all the world, Arab world. We play music from
Hı
Egypt,
hı.
from Lebanon, from Syria, Iraq.
Hı
But in
hı.
this video that you are
Yeah.
talking about,
Yes.
it was a song that was a mix between blues, between the sort of American blues sound and some Arabic Eastern flavor. And I had a moment to do a solo improvisation. And this video is actually not very new. I think maybe it's 4 year old, 4 year old
Four-year-old.
video.
Hımm.
But only now suddenly it's coming back again on social media and people are enjoying it.
Yes. Çok ilginç. O tamamen o sırada çıkan bir solo mu? Daha önce çalıştığın bir solo mu?
It was in the moment because
Oh.
before me there was trumpet solo
Yeah.
before I play. So of course, when you are doing improvisation, you are listening to everything else, and
Yes.
in your mind you are trying to shape what you are going to play. But in the moment when you start playing, then it's completely free. I was completely
Wow.
free,
Wow.
experimenting, looking at the other musicians,
Hı hı.
playing with the percussion. So it was completely improvised. And people actually, Emre, people send me sometime on Instagram. They
Yeah.
say, you have the music sheet, the notes,
Yes.
and I tell them, it's an improvisation. So it happened in the
Wow.
moment. Yeah.
Wow. Very interesting and very lovely. So lovely. Şimdi kemanla alakalı birkaç soru soracağım. Dünyayı geziyorsun değil mi? Hı hı.
Yeah, it's my main instrument, and from when I started playing when I was 4 years old, the
Hı hı.
violin, and I travel. Yeah, I travel everywhere to perform with my violin, and I also sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I sing a little bit.
Oh, vocal and violin.
Sometimes, but violin
Sometimes.
more. Violin more.
Neler söylüyorsun peki? Ne tarz şarkı söylüyorsun?
I sing mostly Iraqi songs
Oo,
from Iraq, from where I was born.
çok merak ettim şu anda. Gerçekten çok merak ettim.
To hear a part?
Çok
Yeah,
isterim. Yes, I want.
yeah. Sure, I will sing. I can sing for you a lullaby. I don't know if
Ya,
lullaby is the song we sing for children, for kids to sleep.
yes.
This was a very special melody for me because my father and mother used to sing for me and my brother when we are kids, and the grandparents the same, and the great parents the
Wow.
same. So it's a
Wow.
very old Iraqi melody
Iraki.
called Dilillol, and it's using maqam Hijaz. So Hijaz is
Hicaz.
also maqam used
Yes.
in Turkey, in Egypt, in many in
Yes.
our area.
Yes.
So the melody goes like this. دل اللول يا الولد يا ابني دل اللول يوم ما عدوك عليل وساكن تشول دل اللول يا الولد يا الولد يا ابني دل اللون يوم ما عدوك عليل وساكن تشون وساكن تشون.
Yeah! Harika. O kadar bildik melodiler ki bizim için. O kadar bildik melodiler ki. Seni o nedenle çok yakın hissediyoruz kendimize.
Of course, yeah. I know history. We share a very special history with Turkey. This music from the Ottoman Empire, the using of maqamat is very common. Even
Hı hı.
sometimes in Iraq,
Hı hı.
we use sometimes words in the singing that is taken from the Turkish language and also from Farsi, from Iran.
Yeah.
So because Iraq has the border connected to Syria, to Turkey, to Iran, so we have a very common history together.
Yes.
So we feel many of the same things.
Yes. Sen dünyanın birçok yerini gezip bu şarkıları söylediğinde insanlar neler hissediyorlar? Neler görüyorsun? Neler yaşıyorsun? Çok merak ediyorum.
Yeah, they always use the word emotional. They feel something very deep with this,
Yes.
with these melodies, with these sounds, and they don't understand why. They always say, "Well, I feel very, very protected, very safe with this music, but also sometimes maybe a little bit sad." But I think people are curious about these styles. They are curious to know more, to understand more, which is why I play the violin, but I am also a music teacher. I am an educator. It's very important for me to use music to help people understand more about this part of the world. So, but I think people in general are very, very curious about this.
Peki öğrencilerinden Ürdün'e gidip bu çalma stilini öğrenmek isteyenler oluyor mu?
You mean the students who are not Arab? You mean?
Yes, not Arab.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Many. I think my students that I teach, Many of them are not Arab. They are from the United States of America, or they are
Mhm,
from Europe, different parts,
mhm.
but they are very curious to learn about this music.
Yes.
And right now, I am the artistic director, the maestro of the Arabic Orchestra in New York. New
Yes.
York, and I think almost everybody in the orchestra that
Hı
play
hı.
Arabic music are not
Yes.
Arab. They are not
Oh,
from the Arab world. So I think that's something very special too, that this music
yes.
can be played by anybody if they have the right education and they
Hımm.
are able to understand it
Hı
well.
hı. Bu bapta da sormak istiyorum. Arap Orkestrası direktörü olarak çalışıyorsunuz. Buradaki çalışmalarınız nasıl oluyor? Neler yapıyorsunuz?
Yeah. So, for example, when we choose a song to
Hı
do,
hı.
I will give an example. We did a song from Egypt
Yes.
by a very famous composer. His name is Muhammad Abdul Wahab, famous
Hı
Egyptian
hı.
composer.
Hı hı.
The piece is in Maqam Nahawand,
Yeah.
but in the song it goes to Maqam Bayati, or maybe you want to call Ushaq. I don't know the name and how in Turkey it's used, but we call Bayati,
Same, same,
and,
same, same, same.
and it has minute a microtone, quarter tone.
Hı hı.
So what we do in the rehearsal is before we start to, because sometimes we have the music sheet so people
Yes.
can read the notes, but it's very important to understand the sound of this maqam. So let's say we have in bayati tararararam. We do things where we play tararararam, and then the orchestra will do tarararam,
A!
tararararam, tararararam, tarararam, and they respond. So we do
Yes.
a lot of back and forth because they have to understand the maqam not as notes, but as a sound.
Hı hı.
So we always have this ear training as a part of the process, and we use that for in a way for them to understand the maqam.
Klasik aslında meşk usulü bir çalışma yapıyorsunuz. Meşk usulü, yani siz bir şey yapıyorsunuz, karşı taraf, dinleyerek cevap veriyor.
Exactly. This is the way this music has been taught from very long time ago.
Hı hı.
The music sheet is a new thing that we use, but the music is supposed to be passed down like this by ear,
Hı
from
hı.
student to teacher, teacher to student, and so on.
Ya, yaptığınız şey inanılmaz. Bu aslında, bizim okullarımızda, Türk müziği konservatuvarlarında da eğitim böyle. Yani Doğu müziği böyle mi anlatılır sizce?
I don't think there is one way or one good way to do it, but I think when you teach Eastern music, you cannot neglect or you cannot only use the music sheet. You have to use the listening. But sometimes in today's time, you only have two rehearsals for a concert. You don't have 1 month to when in the old times. So you need to have something written on paper so people can learn fast and they can perform fast. But at the same time, you have to use this by ear teaching and playing because the music has to be part of your body. It's not something that you just read and play. So I think a combination of the two is important.
Çok merak ettiğim şeyler var Leyt. O nedenle ısrarla sormak istiyorum biraz bu konuda. Koma sesleri, yani mikrotonları, başka ülkelerden olan insanlar nasıl algılıyorlar? Çünkü detone gibi gelmiyor mu onlara? Öyle duymuştum.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think um, the beauty about our music, and when I say our music, I'm also saying from Turkey, the music of the maqam music that use
Yes,
microtones.
yes.
It is not microtones is not something by itself. It is always part of a melody. So it's true. If I play something and I just do da, da, da, da, by itself, people will think, "What is going on with this note?" But when you do
Yes.
they hear the whole melody as one phrase, one breath. So I think that in any situation, the audience needs time for their ear to learn new sounds. So it's okay in the beginning if they don't understand how to respond to the music or how to enjoy it. But when you explain to them, like how you're asking me now, people need to explain to understand how to enjoy music. We think that people should
Yes.
listen to something and have an opinion if they like it or not. But if they
Yes.
don't understand how to listen to it, it's very hard for them to have an opinion. So that's
Yes,
why you have to
yes.
teach them
Hı
how to
hı.
appreciate it.
Ya, ben şeye inanıyorum. Eğer, orkestranda bu müzikle ilgilenenler ve sevenler varsa muhtemelen Lübnan'a, yani senin o Ürdün'e, senin bulunduğun, doğduğun topraklara gitmek istiyorlardır. Merak ediyorlardır çünkü.
Also, too, yeah, it's with music sometimes we think our job is to only do entertainment for people to enjoy the music and they will go home and then we do the
Yeah.
same thing next day and so on. But we have a more important responsibility that musicians are cultural ambassadors. You are ambassador for your country,
Yes.
so you have to play well, but you also have to speak about your music well to represent where you're coming from. So it's a very big responsibility. And I agree, many people who listen to our music, the year after, they think, you know what, I feel this music makes me feel good. I want to go see that place. So it's true that this happens.
Gerçekten, yaptığın şey çok önemli, çok güzel. Ben, sadece seni, Türkiye'deki insanlar bir solonla dinledi ama, büyük bir orkestranın yöneticisin ve bir kültür elçisisin aslında. Yes,
Thank
yes,
you. I
yes,
appreciate that.
yes, yes. Türkiye hakkında bilgin var mı? Türkiye'de tanıdığın şarkıcılar var mı? Çalışmak istediğin şarkıcılar var mı veya çalışır mısın? Singer or, violinist? Yes.
Yeah, I I know not enough, but I know of many great artists. I know of when I was very young, we used to listen to Ibrahim Tatlisis a lot. Husnu on the clarinet,
Yes, Hüsnü Şenlendirici.
Aytat on the qanun,
Oh!
um, like Taksim Trio, basically. We used to listen a
Yes,
lot to
yes.
Taksim Trio.
Yes, we know.
I love just everything about their sound. Who else? There's also I'm trying to remember um, because Turkish music was something that we used to listen to a lot in Boston.
Ah,
When I arrived there,
ha ha.
we used to listen to a lot of great music and great songs. And Erkan Oğur, of course,
Yes,
one of my favorites.
yes. Wow.
So it would be an honor of mine to collaborate with a Turkish artist if there is an opportunity. Uh, but because as you said in the beginning, there's a lot of similarities and closeness between the cultures, and with something very special, I think will come from it.
Buradan, bizi video aracıyla izleyecek tüm Türkiye'deki ve dünyadaki herkese de seslenelim. Seni Türkiye'de gerçekten görmeyi çok isteriz. Seni canlı canlı performans yaparken izlemeyi çok çok isteriz. Kesinlikle davet etsinler seni buraya.
I am currently working on hopefully some plans for some performances. I
Wow!
don't want to say anything 100% because I want to be sure, but I think after the great comments and people from Turkey who are writing to me, I think it's important to meet everybody. So there is something that we are working on, and I will share more details hopefully very soon on my Instagram.
Wonderful. Assassin's Creed. Please talk about Assassin's Creed, please.
Assassin's Creed was a game that my brother used to play a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. And for a long time, I used to love the soundtrack, the music. And last year, I got a phone call from someone who said, Leif, can you send me recordings of you singing in Arabic? I said, okay. For what? And they said, no, just send me recordings. I said, okay, no problem. I sent the
Okay,
recording.
okay.
After many months, I get another phone call from the composer, Brendan Angelidis, who's a
Yeah.
great, fantastic composer, who has worked on many Netflix movies and movies. But he is doing the music for Assassin's Creed, and he asked me if I want to do it. And I said, of course, without thinking, I said, of course, I want to be part of it.
Very nice.
Because not only because it's a famous game, but because the theme of the game is going to be in Baghdad, where I was born. The game is going to be
Okay.
in Baghdad. So we are now working on the music, and Brendan is so great because he really wants to make the music sound very close to the original of how the music in Baghdad sounds like. So
Okay.
he's very culturally sensitive to that, and I really appreciate this approach. So I cannot say more because we are working on the music, but hopefully when the game is released, people can enjoy the game, but also can really enjoy the music. And I am singing and playing violin.
Wow.
Yeah,
Sing and violin. Okay.
yeah,
Wow, wow, wow.
yeah,
Very cool news for us.
yeah.
Şöyle söyleyeyim. Grammy adaylığın var Late. Bununla ilgili de konuşur musun lütfen? Merak ediyorum.
Yeah, actually, tonight is the Grammy Award tonight. So
Yeah, yeah,
tonight in Europe, but in the US is going to be in the afternoon. But I was a part of an ensemble called Global Messengers that was created by the fantastic jazz pianist Danilo Perez, who Danilo has many Grammys from before. He's a multi-Grammy winner.
Yeah.
And he invited me and my colleagues from a cello player from Palestine, Nassim Al-Atrash, percussion from Palestine, Tariq Rantisi, a singer from the United States, Farai Malik, and a lauto player from Greece, Vasilis Kostas.
Wow.
So the ensemble was jazz, of course, but bringing our influences from the Middle East, from Greece, from
Yes.
USA. Danilo is from Panama, so it's a bit of the Latin influence too. And the album was nominated for a Grammy Award for the best Latin jazz album.
Wow.
So
Wow.
hopefully
Wow.
we'll see tonight. Maybe there is going to be good news.
Wow. Bugün harika bir gün olur bizim için de. Çok mutlu
Hopefully.
oluruz seninle.
Yeah, hopefully.
Mükemmel. Son birkaç soru bitiriyorum. Çok sevilen Son of Tigris albümünden sonra yeni albüm çalışması ve müzik çalışmaları neler olacak? Nasıl izleyebiliriz? Nerede izleyebiliriz?
So I have done 3 albums so far. Son of Tigris is the only one that was myself, just
Yes.
my own work, because the other 2 was collaboration with a singer from India. He's Indian American. His name is Rohit Jayaraman. The album is called Hamsa, and the last album is with the Greek lauto Vasilis Kostas. It's called Steps. It's also collaboration, but Son of Tigris was my first album, just myself. And I am currently also working on a second album, but it's going to be some violin, some singing. It's a combination of my own compositions, my own pieces, but also some arrangements of the famous Iraqi songs that I think many of the Turkish audience will also enjoy, again, because they are very close to all of us. So I will be, if everybody here is following my page on Instagram or Facebook, then they will be able to see all the news all the time, and I will be sharing about everything new.
Wow. Çok teşekkür ederiz Late her şey için. Ben genelde konuklarımdan videonun sonunda hep bir kendi ülkelerine ait halk müziği türküsünü söylemelerini isterim ama sen zaten söyledin. O nedenle acaba kemanın yanındaysa çok kısacık böyle bir içinden geçen bir şey dinlemek isteriz.
I don't have the violin, unfortunately, with me, but I can sing. I can sing a folk song if you would like, just because I don't have the violin.
Yes.
This song, it's not a folk song, but it's a song that many Iraqis know. It describes the beautiful city of Baghdad with the river called Dijla, Tigris River, that passed through Baghdad. The song was composed by Salih Al-Kuwaiti, and it's called على شواطئ دجلة, which means on the banks of Tigris. It's a really
Wow.
beautiful song, and it's very special for many Iraqi people. So I will sing 2 parts of the song for
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you. Please. Thank you.
على شواطئ دجلة مور, على شواطئ دجلة مور, يا منيتي وقت الفجر, صبح وعصر على شواطئ دجلة مور, على شواطئ دجلة مور, يا منيتي وقت الفجر, صبح وعصر, لا را را را, لا را را را راي, را را راي, را راي, لا را راي, شوف الطبيعة تزهي بديعة, شوف الطبيعة تزهي بديعة, ليلة ربيع يضوي البدر, يضوي البدر على شواطئ دجلة مور, على شاطئ دجلة مور, يا منيتي وقت الفجر, وقت الفجر, وقت الفجر, صبح وعصر.
Ay ay ay ay ay ay ay. Late. Late son bir şey soracağım. Bağdat'a sık sık gidiyor musun?
Actually, I have never been to Baghdad. Never,
Hı hı.
ever in my life.
Oh.
I went to Mosul, which is a
Yes.
city in the north of
Ah.
Iraq. I went last year for a very nice festival, music festival that was supported by the UNESCO.
Yes.
It's a music festival to support the city after the war and to rebuild the culture and the music. But one of my dreams, and hopefully
Yes.
soon I can do it, is to do a concert in Baghdad and to sing this
Oh.
song. To sing this
İnşallah.
song in Baghdad. So
İnşallah.
inshallah,
İnşallah.
we can do it.
Ya. Çünkü söylerken sesinde bir özlem var ya. Onu ben kendim böyle hissettim ama doğru mu bilmiyorum.
Yeah, I mean it's I think it's difficult to grow up. Jordan, Urdun for me is my country. It's
Yeah.
I live all my life there. I have all my family, my friends. I learn many things in there, but I still have a piece of me
Yeah.
that is in Baghdad.
Wow.
So it's very difficult to grow up not knowing what your real home looks like. How it looks like. So I think that's why in many of when I sing, when I play, there is always, I think sadness is not the word, but the word is yearning. Let me see if I can actually quickly translate. I don't know if we can translate the word yearning, but I will look for the Turkish quickly. The word here.
Okay,
Yearning.
okay, no problem.
I think it's a very important word. Hasret.
Hasret, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think there's
Wow.
a hasret to Iraq, and it comes in this song.
Senin hayalin Bağdat'ta bir konser vermek olsun. Bizim hayalimiz de seni Bağdat'ta izlemek olsun o zaman. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Very kind of you.
Thank you so much, Late.
Thank you for
Thank
the
you for
invitation
everything.
again, and hi to everybody who's watching. Thank you all.
Wow. Bye bye. Thank you. Çok teşekkür ederim. Harikasın ya. Süpersin. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye bye. See you.